In a massive blow to Sasikala, the Supreme Court refused to entertain her plea seeking more time to surrender for serving jail term in the disproportionate assets case. The Supreme Court made it very clear it was not inclined to pass any order in this matter, any more orders in this matter. Sasikala aide and AIADMK MP Thambidurai is rushed to Bengaluru amid speculation that she will surrender later today. Upholding the verdict of the trial court, the Supreme Court found her guilty in the 66 crore rupee disproportionate assets case and sentenced her to 4 years in prison. I quickly want to cut across to India Today's Nolan Pinto, who's been standing by outside the Sessions Court in Bengaluru since early this morning. Nolan, Sasikala was to surrender today. She sought relief from the Supreme Court. Less than 6 minutes, 10:30, the bench heard the case. 10:36, she was told, or her counsel was told, understand the meaning of the word immediately, no relief granted. What next? What next in Bengaluru?
Gaurav, I'm actually standing now outside the room number 48. That is where all the action will take place. We just managed to speak to her lawyer over here, Kulshekaran, who tells us that she will be here in Bengaluru. She will appear before the judge, Judge Ashwath Narayan, before the end of day. That is, we are looking at before 5 o'clock, maximum by 4:30, 4:45. Now what we are told is that she will come over here, she'll appear before the judge, and before the judge, they will request them for 2 weeks' time, saying that she's not well. Their idea is that they've come over here, she has followed the rules, she has followed the operative words in the order to surrender herself, but that she's not well. They will request for 2 weeks' time. Now, no one knows whether they'll get or not, considering what the Supreme Court has said, that she must surrender immediately. It's very doubtful that might happen this evening.
Okay. Oh, but that's significant. That is significant. And Nolan Pinto scooped out Sasikala's strategy this evening. So she will appear before court, and which would mean that they would have to start immediately to get to Bengaluru before the end of day, before 5 p.m., reach court number 48, and there appear before Judge Ashwath Narayan, and then seek an additional 2 weeks' time to surrender on grounds of health. But are there any doctors accompanying her? Is there a medical certificate on which she will say that she is unwell? Nolan, any more details?
Gaurav, what we're getting to know over here from our sources, basically the lawyers are not forth with the information, but some of them are just passing us information saying that mostly they will get a medical certificate to prove that she is not well and suffering from certain ailments. So we're not too sure how, where are they getting it from Tamil Nadu? Will they do it in Bengaluru? Now, it's not possible in Bengaluru at all, considering the fact that she has to reach here before the end of day, that is 5 o'clock. So mostly in Tamil Nadu itself, they will get this medical certificate and come over here. But again, we must stress, we just do not know what happens at times.
Okay.
If the judge feels that she is not well and that she does require time, he might give her that 1 or 2 weeks. But as of now, what our sources and what the people around here are talking is that might not happen, because they went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court has very clearly said
absolutely no relief whatsoever from the Supreme Court. And I also want to quickly bring in India Today's consulting editor T.S. Sudhir and editor Padmaja Joshi, both standing by in Chennai, bringing us the latest on this big story, minute by minute updates on this massive story. Sudhir, this is exactly what was anticipated. If she doesn't get relief from the Supreme Court, she will go to court, but may say, I am unwell. But this would bring us to that question that she was fit enough to be sworn in Chief Minister. She wanted it to be advanced. She wanted to be sworn in Chief Minister almost as of yesterday, but she is not fit enough to go to jail, that means.
Well, Gaurav, it's not the first time in India that a VIP under trial or a VIP convict is actually feigning illness, if I may use that word. But yes, she's definitely going to say that she's suffering from some health complications, because of which she will not be able to surrender immediately. Ask for some more time. Probably this will be done at the time of surrender itself. We do not know whether Justice Ashwath Narayan will take a lenient view of that. But as far as the Supreme Court is concerned, not taking a lenient view of the fact that she has spent 24 hours not taking any steps to go and surrender. Yes, they said that they had not yet received the certified order copy of the verdict from the Supreme Court, which is why the delay was taking place. But at this point in time, I'm outside Poes Garden, and this is the lane leading to Poes Garden. In fact, over the last 45 minutes or so, a large number of AIDMK leaders, second-rang leaders, have driven into Vedanilayam, possibly to see her before she actually steps out to drive down to Bangalore, which should be a distance of any time between 5 to 6 hours. We are also told that there is a lot of anger being vented at the media personnel who are standing outside Vedanilayam, basically accusing them of the kind of reportage that has landed their party chief in a bit of mess. But of course, the big development taking place also is that of the appointment of TTV Dinakaran as the Deputy General Secretary. So in that sense, a crucial decision taken by Sasikala before she actually steps out to drive to Bangalore to surrender before the court today.
Okay, stay with me. I also want to go to Padmaja Joshi standing by with more details. Now, the grounds that was sought, Padmaja, was I need more time to sort out my affairs at this point of time, considering she's already appointed TTV Dinakaran as the Deputy General Secretary of the party, the second most powerful man. She's already put a succession plan in place. Do we have any more details of what she intended to do, or was she only buying time because she wanted to stay out of jail as long as she could before 4 years inside jail?
In fact, yes, there was an attempt to try and buy time, and in fact, ill health wasn't the only one. Some of the party leaders that we spoke to yesterday, who are Sasikala loyalists, also said that she has great administrative responsibilities. Also consider her age; she's a senior citizen, and 1 day is far too less. There have been cases in the past where the convicts have been asked to surrender and have been given at least a week's time. They cited past political cases. So for the court to say that surrender forthwith, they felt was a little unfair, keeping in mind her onerous responsibilities as well as her age. They also said, look at her, she's a lady, she can't just be dragged off to jail in a matter of 1 day. So all of this was being stated, but of course that hasn't really amused the Supreme Court at all. All the legal options before Sasikala at this point have been exhausted. So this was a last-ditch attempt, as it were. Gaurav, hasn't worked.
Okay, but you know, her plan B, you know what Nolan Pinto scooped out, that she may fall ill or reach the court and say, I'm unwell, I need 2 more weeks time to surrender. That's option 1. Sudhir, do we know how she intends to get to Bengaluru before the end of the day? Is there a flight option still available, or because of the Yalahanka air show, she will have to drive perhaps non-stop for the next 6 hours to make it in time before court closes for the day?
Well, yes, last night we were told that she's going to take the flight out to Bengaluru. In fact, that was the original plan, but now it seems that she will drive down. But again, the original plan was to start at around 10:30. It's 11:10 now, and no signs of her stepping out of home. So we do not know whether any change has come, because remember, it's a dynamic situation which constantly keeps changing because of the number of advisors inside Vedanilayam who are advising Sasikala on what to do next. There is of course the legal team, there are her family members, and there are some party leaders who are advising her on what to do. The Deputy Speaker of the Lok Sabha, Tambudura, and senior AIDMK leader, he's already in Bengaluru. So in that sense, that gives us an idea that she would be reaching Bengaluru whatever happens. And now that the Supreme Court has come down heavily and not really being very amused by the manner in which she has been dragging her surrender in court, which means that she would have to step out almost any minute now in order to drive down to Bengaluru. Alternately, if she takes the flight option, the afternoon flight option still remains open should she choose to exercise that.
Okay. But the fact that she's appointed her nephew and TTV Dinakaran, now why is this seen as so controversial? He's paid a 25 crore rupee penalty on FERA violation, was thrown out of the AIADMK. In fact, Padmaja, in 2012, Sasikala wrote a written apology saying, I'm distancing myself from my family for bringing disrepute to Jayalalitha and the AIADMK. But today, the same people will well be in control of the AIADMK. Are we getting any reaction from the O Paneerselvam camp, or even those who are still at that Golden Bay resort, Padmaja?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, just a few seconds ago, we just missed it. Actress Gautami was over here. Remember, she was the first one to have spoken out about the circumstances under which Jayalalitha had died. Remember, speaking to India Today, she had said it's not really comfortable the way this entire cloak of secrecy surrounds Jayalalitha's stay first in hospital and then the way she died all of a sudden. And now she just came out of O. Selvam's house. Yesterday, it was Deepa Jaikumar, Jayalalitha's niece, and today it is, all right, we have more leaders right now and there's quite a media crush, as you can see. This fact, the fact that the Manargudi Mafia, as it is known locally, is coming back, is taking center stage in politics, is going to be drummed up a lot, Gaurav, you can imagine, here in Chennai, in Tamil Nadu. And the message going out to people is, look, here was Amma, she was surrounded by this clique who somehow got her involved, got her embroiled, and that's what most people will say when you talk to them about how the DA case verdict reflects on both Sasikala and on Jayalalitha. They will say there was this clique which misled her and ultimately drew her into this entire disproportionate assets case, and now they are being brought back into the AIADMK and practically the reins of the party are being handed over to them. So would you rather be governed by a Dinakaran or would you rather be on the side of an O. Selvam, which is why we've seen now more and more people here coming into O. Selvam's house, still trying to catch a glimpse really, Gaurav, of who is inside that car. But another MLA, we are being told, has now joined in just a few seconds. Hopefully we'll know who it is.
Okay, Padmaja, figure that out. I will come back to you in just a moment, just as soon as you figured this one out. But I want to cut across to Supreme Court now. Anusha Soni joins us with the latest, and that would be a shot in the arm for O. Selvam if this trickle continues to increase and one more MLA joins him. But at the Supreme Court, Anusha, absolutely no relief for Sasikala. Her counsels appeared. Give us details of what transpired. On what grounds was Sasikala seeking relief?
Gaurav, as you pointed out, the top court has cracked its whip. The top court is very clear that it passed a judgment yesterday in which it convicted Sasikala, found criminality on the part of late Jayalalitha and also the two other accused. The court is very clear that it is not going to grant any further time to Sasikala. The orders are very clear. The word used in the judgment yesterday was henceforth, which translates immediately. None other than senior counsel and one of the Rajya Sabha members from the Congress party, KTS Tulsi, appeared for Sasikala before a bench led by Justice Ghosh and said that I need some more time to sort out my affairs. The very specific health grounds were not mentioned as of now, right now. What he basically said is that there are few things that I need to sort out before I surrender. I am ready to undergo incarceration, but I need some more time. The bench was very categoric to shun down any request. It said that, you know, we have passed an order. There is no further hearing. There is no further time that we are granting you. The bench was clearly irked by the fact that Sasikala has used this vacuum, this lacunae, this time that was, between the fact that she got an order copy and not surrendered so far. And that reflected in the mood of the bench. Back to you,
Okay. Understand the meaning of the word immediately, and that is what the bench directed at Sasikala's counsel. I want to quickly cut back to Poes Garden. There's action at Poes Garden and T.S. Sudhir is joining us live with more on that. So will Sasikala now drive to Bengaluru? What's happening, Sudhir?
Well, at the Poes Garden, we just saw former Minister Valarmati driving out, and there seems to be a lot of activity. The police trying to cordon off the area to have the convoy, which will have Sasikala in it, to lead out and drive down to Bengaluru. That's what we are told. We have, if you just pan right, you can see a whole lot of policemen who are around that area, trying to ensure that there is nobody who comes in between when Sasikala is driving out. A whole lot of AIDMK cadre have actually gone in the last 1 hour probably to meet Sasikala before she steps out. There is quite a bit of media personnel inside also, including our colleague Anup, and what I'm told is that there was a lot of abuse directed at the media by angry AIDMK cadre who blame the media for the kind of narrative that has been spilled out, especially in the last 24 hours ever since the verdict of the Supreme Court came out. But yes, these are the live shots coming to you from outside Vedanilayam in Poes Garden. This is the lane which leads to the Jayalalitha Sasikala residence, and we are told by the police that she should be expected any moment. So what I would suggest, Gaurav, is that while you continue discussing, we keep the live shots from Poes Garden so that we are able to get you the first shots when Sasikala actually steps out of home to drive down to Bengaluru.
Oh, absolutely. The fact that police are swinging into action, clearing barricades, stopping other traffic, is that an indication? Because it's already 11:15 and in about 6 hours, it's anything between 5 to 6 hours to drive from Vedanalayam to that courtroom number 48, Judge Ashwath Narayan's court, and before 5 p.m. Sasikala has to reach there. Now she sought more time, saying she has to sort out affairs, and Padmaja, she's already sorted out at least the succession plan. However unpopular the O Paneerselvam camp may think that succession plan is, but that is what those who are already at the Golden Bay Resort seem to be going by.
I'm sorry, Gaurav, could you please repeat that question? A little bit of a chaos over here.
Oh, so there's chaos at both sides. That means there's chaos at Poes Garden, there's chaos outside O Paneerselvam's residence. Padmaja, she wanted more time. Sasikala wanted more time to sort out affairs, but she's already, it appears, sorted out the succession plan. However unpopular the O Paneerselvam camp may think that is.
That's right, and she simply cannot have another situation where someone pulls a fast one on her, especially now that she's not going to be minutely micromanage everything that is happening. You had O Paneerselvam, who was supposed to dutifully step aside at the time that Sasikala finally deigned to take over as Chief Minister. He did that, he did propose her name as the CM designate, but look what happened. Just 2 days later, he went to Amma Samadhi, he spoke to her spirit, and he seemed to have changed his mind. She can't simply afford to have E. Palanisamy having a similar communication with Jayalalitha's spirit in the time that she is in the Bengaluru prison, and which is why she wants to have someone who has her ear, who's very close to her, who in fact is her family, to be keeping a hawk's eye on Palanisamy. So he is going to be the Chief Minister, but there will always be someone who is going to be, if we can use that phrase, breathing down his neck. So EPS will always have to keep looking over his shoulder just in case he develops any political ambition. So this really is the check that she has put in place from her own OPS, that is E. Palanisamy, pulling an OPS on her.
Okay. But Sudhir, will this be acceptable to all within the AIADMK? The fact that TTV Dinakaran, he was already around, this arrangement has been formalized, but this arrangement would actually mean that the Manargudi family that Jayalalitha had ousted have taken over the party, it seems.
Absolutely. That would mean formalizing of the hold of the Manargudi family over the affairs of the party, and by extension the Tamil Nadu government as well, should Edappadi Palaniswamy get the call from the governor to become Chief Minister. So that would definitely happen. As we bring to you live shots from Poes Garden, just talking about what kind of reactions would TTV Dinakaran's appointment bring among the AIADMK cadre. The cadre wouldn't be too happy, I can tell you for sure. But as far as the Palaniswamy camp MLAs are concerned, they already used to the presence of Dinakaran and also to the fact that he's part of the decision-making process. Remember, on both occasions, first when Sasikala went to meet the governor to stake her claim, and yesterday when Palaniswamy went to stake his claim, on both occasions Dinakaran was seated to the right of Sasikala first and Palaniswamy yesterday. So that really shows his importance within the power structure of the AIADMK, and the MLAs seem to be quite comfortable with the idea. Yes, there could be some voices of discontentment, and they perhaps may use that as an excuse to step out of the Palaniswamy Sasikala camp. That could very well happen.
Okay.
But as far as Sasikala is concerned, she obviously sees the need for a trusted man is in charge of the party while she is in jail, and also to keep some kind of a check and balance on Edappadi Palaniswamy, who belongs to the powerful Gaunter community, and he's not a political lightweight. He is not a night watchman. He's a political heavyweight, a four-time MLA, has been a former minister, has been the PWD minister, and of course has a lot of clout in the Western Tamil Nadu region.
Oh, absolutely. But why would the cadre be unhappy, and wouldn't MLAs supporting this dispensation be worried about the cadre unhappiness over the Manargudi family virtually taking over the AIADMK, if at all?
Gaurav, here we are talking of two AIDMKs within the Sasikala faction. One, of course, is the cadre, and one, of course, is the group of MLAs and MPs who are still with the Sasikala faction. And there is a huge divide, almost no meeting point between the cadre and the MLAs and MPs. So, in that sense, the main problem is that TTV Dinakaran or Dr. Venkatesh, who is a son-in-law, were expelled by Jayalalitha in 2011 December. And in fact, Sasikala got back into the AIDMK only on the condition that she will have no truck with any of the family members. But look at what is happening now. 2 months after Jayalalitha passed away, all of them have been now given positions of power within the party. Venkatesh has been made the primary member, and DTV Dinakaran has been awarded with the Deputy General Secretary's post.
Oh, absolutely. And this will remain our top focus story here on India Today. I have to switch.